I'm David Fisher. I'm the director of the Sustainable Living Program here at MUM. I'm also the instigator, along with my wife, Mabel, for the Sustainable Living Center, which is now being built. And I've more or less championed the agriculture program here. I teach organic agriculture and another agriculture course. And other than that, I teach general botany courses. So it depends on what their background is. If they grew up on a farm, even if it was a conventional farm, they still have a lot of foundational knowledge that would be very useful. If they came here, most likely it would be because they do want to do alternative agriculture, organic, sustainable, something in that area. Okay? So the value they would get out of being here is seeing the bigger picture, to see how a truly sustainable farm fits into a sustainable community. If they don't know what constitutes a sustainable community, they might very naively go out and plunk down a farm someplace that didn't work at all because the infrastructure to support it was not there. So they come here, they learn what the big picture is, they learn what sustainability is really all about in terms of a sustainable community. If they came here with no farming background, they would, even after they graduate from here, need to go and have an internship somewhere on a farm which really works, the kind of farm they want to do. Then they would have the experience, the knowledge of the farm itself from that farm, and they would have the knowledge of sustainability and the context of a whole community from our program. Now, if they came here with a good background in farming, but maybe no knowledge about alternative or organic and all of that, then they would get that here, and combined with the knowledge that they had, that to say they grew up on a farm, they could go right out and fairly realistically expect to start up a successful small farm. We have students that want to start up, you might say, sustainable restaurants, organic restaurants, or restaurants that are green in one way or another, or sustainable in one way or another, not only in terms of the food, but the way the restaurant itself is actually structured and how they, what kinds of ovens and so forth they use. That's one thing. Another one that there's a lot of need for, frankly, is what you might call a food broker. This would be somebody who would specialize in being that connection between the producers, the farmers who grow the produce, and restaurants and supermarkets who want that kind of produce, but neither one of them has the time to work out all the logistics of making that connection with the other. Okay? There are people that just do that because they're good at it, they love doing it. They work out all the prices, the logistics, the supplies, the time of the year, how much you're going to get of this, how much of that. The farmer needs to know he has a market, okay? But he doesn't want to go to all the trouble of doing that much marketing. The grocery store or the restaurant, they want a good, solid, steady supply of, and dependable supply of produce, but they don't want to do all the logistics of figuring out, going to all the individual farmers, working in all the contracts, and they don't want to do that. There are some people that love to do that, love to bring people together, for a really good purpose. And those entities, they love to have somebody that wants to do that. So they'll pay good money because they know it's worthwhile. Because then you've got somebody who's really specialized at that. So a food broker, that's another possibility. This is like Elizabeth Humble, who started out doing an internship with Pathfinders here, which is an organization that, among other things, specializes in supplying local food to restaurants and supermarkets and so forth. It started out as an internship, and it morphed into a full-time job, and now she's the director of that. So a really great success story. And there's one that really, really, really worked, and she's really taken a leadership role in that now. Exactly the kind of thing that she learned here in the context of sustainable communities. I'm thinking of another student who went to an island in Fiji and helped start up a sustainable community down there. That went on for 2 or 3 years. That was pretty amazing. We had another student who joined the Peace Corps and went down to Paraguay and helped with some sustainability education in the context of the Peace Corps down there. and he was good enough at it. He extended the second year, and now he was good enough. They've asked him to be sort of a regional coordinator of those efforts down there. So those are some examples. We do get some of the high school students right out of high school to come here. We also get a fair number of students who have been to one or more other colleges or universities because they're looking and they're looking and they're looking for something that better fits their value system, better fits their needs, better fits their idea about an education that will truly prepare them for something that they really want to go into, which is usually something more sustainable oriented, more environmental oriented, more sort of spiritually rewarding oriented, more fulfilling, and in a broader sense than maybe most conventional universities and colleges. We also get students that are even in the next categories up, in their 40s, in their 50s, and up. Right? Now there's much less of those, but there's a few. And they're nice to have around because they have that life wisdom that then they're able to impart to the other students, almost all of whom are much younger. But still, we get a sprinkling of those from time to time too. So we get a fairly large mix.